Okay, welcome everybody. It's Thursday, November 2nd. If I could have your attention, welcome here. We got not too bad a crowd considering, and I'm not sure how many we got virtual. Just a reminder, those who are virtual, you're moderated. So if you need to ask a question, send a text to the moderator. And then we might open up the mics when it comes to question period. Okay, do we have any new visitors? Yes, sir. Can you introduce yourself?
Rodeo was good. Yeah.
Yeah. You got okay, good. Thanks. I take you from the London area? Tilsonburg. Oh, okay. So come out to see Rob or the club. Do we have anybody in the audience? The remote audience that's new? Okay, just a little bit of club business. I'm going to leave most of the club business to after our guest speaker. For those, I already said, warned you about your audio for the Zoom speakers. And for tonight's, I wanted to make you realize that tonight's the last night for our in-person club meeting. Coming in December, we're going to be doing the Christmas lunch and potluck. Which is a potluck, and we'll also be giving out the Ham of the Year award. Christmas dinner? What did I say? Oh, okay. Depends on what time you get up, I guess. I tend to get up kind of late for various reasons, but so after the Christmas lunch and the New Year, we're going to be just virtual for the first 2 or 3 months, January to March. We're going to start at 7:30, and then that's because the winter months, it's not very nice to come out here, so we'll stick to virtual, and then we'll be back in April, May, and in person. So, Ruth, I guess you want to do your spiel on the potluck. What are you going to do?
It's a Christmas dinner, potluck dinner at our December meeting. So, and it starts about 7 o'clock. Bring some food. Bring yourself, bring your spouse, bring a family member, come on out, enjoy the night. We have our 50-50 Ham of the Year, maybe some door prizes, we'll see. But yeah, come on out. What's December's meeting? December 7th. Come on out for Christmas potluck. We have a great time. That's all.
All right.
Oh, and thank you to all the people who helped me out with Hamfest and all of the events.
I just had a quick question. Are we going to start eating at 7? Because last year you had to come a little earlier and set up at 6:30.
All right. Well, yeah, if you want to come at 6:30, we'll eat by 7. Good thought.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So we're going to start with our guest speaker tonight. Rob doesn't have to hang around if he doesn't want to. Our guest speaker is Rob Noakes, V3P CP from the Tiverton, Ontario. He's a member of the Inverhero Amateur Radio Club. He's an accredited examiner. And he's here to talk about a number of things that their club's involved with, their remote station, the International YL and Youth Group program. And you may have seen it. I think there was a blurb on the CTV News some time ago. Their club's pretty active in that. And I think he's got a member. I think Jutka is a member of their club. I'm not sure. And he's going to talk a bit about the Pitcairn expedition.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rob Noakes, and I'm a founder of the Inverhero and Ham Radio Club. We're very active in many different aspects of ham radio, and we'll talk about a few of them tonight. So I have a presentation here that I will go through. I'll stop at different points and add a little bit of voice context to it, so you don't have to read all the text. So we'll start off here. Okay, so the club was founded in January 2018 by myself and my son and his mother. And we're a youth-oriented club that promotes the fun side of amateur radio. So we like to get out in the community and do lots of operations in public and different private events throughout the year. So we have 2 remote stations. Can you see the whole screen there? Okay. Okay, so we have two two remote stations. We have an HF remote station and a VHF UHF dual band remote station. And they're both set up here at my home QTH in Inverhuron. So the HF remote station, the main antenna is an 8-band vertical based on a Hustler. So it's a 6 BTV, they call it, and then or it's a 5 BTV, and then I added 3/4 wave elements on the side of it for 12, 17, and 30 meters. And we also have a full-size DE meter delta loop, and also a tri-band of Mosley antenna up on the roof. Maybe that I don't know. Can you see? Can somebody let me know? Can you see the top of the screen there? Okay. And we have a small 300 or 400 watt amplifier in line as well. And the station is set up that we can do CW. So you can either do CW through the keyboard or using macros that are built into RC4. And it's also you can also do it with a USB to RS-232 cable with a breakout connector on it, and you have to wire it to accept the plug from your paddles. So, and that works very well. You can set your speed and so on and so forth. And I'll do a demonstration of that a little bit later on. So this is our 8-band vertical in the backyard. Inverhuron is noted for all its cedar trees, and this is the feed point there for the 80-meter delta loop. This is our dual band VHF UHF radio. It's a Kenwood TMD 700, and it works pretty well. Then we have a dual band tram vertical antenna on top of the tower. International YL Youth and Remote Group, VA3YLR. And some of you may know what that is, and some of you may not. So when we're operating, we operate in accordance with the Canadian Amateur Radio Regulations, 46.1, which gives the opportunity for participation in communications while an operator with full qualifications is present and in control of the station. So whenever I have somebody that's on the station through the remote, then I'm always in the station. I have full our station under 46.1, which is participation in communications. While there's an operator with full qualifications in the station and present and in control. And this is our group. We have currently 14 YLs and 4 young people from 9 countries on 4 continents. So I'll talk a little bit about the group. So this is me up at the top, and then Alicia, VA3KGZ, and my son Justin, VA3AQZ. We're the founders of the club. VO1BIG is Raisa. She's actually from Russia. Her call sign there is Radio 1 Bravo India Gulf, and she's very well known on the air. There's Dora, Hotel Bravo 9 Echo Papa Echo. She's from Switzerland. Then we have Biggie, Delta Kilo 3 Yankee Bravo. She's from Berlin, Germany. And Yvette, Delta Lima 9 Yankee Juliet. She's from Frankfurt. And then we have Maria, Yankee United 3 Alpha Whiskey Alpha. She operated from the Vatican here some time ago last year. And she's from Club Nikola Tesla in Sombor, Serbia. And the 3 young men down at the bottom are also with her from the club. Then we have Radio 3 Tango Mike, Maria. She's a good friend with Raisa, also from Russia. VA3 QET is Ava. She's from Switzerland. Her Swiss call, Hotel Bravo 9 Foxtrot Papa Mexico. Then we have Carolina. She is from Venezuela. Marzika is from Turkey. And she's a youth operator. She operates almost predominantly remote through remote ham radio youth program. And then we have Paige, K0PZH. She's from Iowa, I believe. And she was operating for the CQ Worldwide DX contest from Curacao. So I have a recording of her too. Jenny is from the UK, M0HZT. She hasn't done any operations yet with us. There's Petra Delta Lima 5 Papa India Alpha and Pia Delta Lima 7 Papa India Alpha. They are mother and daughter, and they are from the Black Forest region of Germany. So the first, we have a lot of operators that we do multiple operations with, and we have a special call sign that we use. And this year, Raisa did several operations using her Canadian call sign VO1 BIG. We've operated and participated in Field Day 2022, 2023, the RAC Canada Day Contest, International Lighthouse Weekend, IARU, HF Championships, Jamboree on the Air, and most recently the CQ Worldwide DX SSB Contest. This year we were invited to operate in two different YL specific programs. The first one is the YL Diploma program, was organized by Salvamar Noticia, and which is a Spanish ham radio magazine. So we were one of 25 activating stations, all YLs activating, and it time-wise worked out well for the August International Lighthouse Weekend. So we did that as part of our lighthouse operation. We had the YLs on the remote, and then we had a portable station set up at the lighthouse in Kincardine. The second was the YL Spring Primavera Certificate Program, and it was run by Club La Rioja from Argentina, LU1SF. So we were one of 75 activating stations, all YL stations, and this ran from September 15th to September 30th. And because Argentina's in the southern hemisphere, it's spring down there. So that's they celebrate it, and we're finding that many countries outside of North America are doing a lot with YLs. Not so much in North America. There are some operations in North America, but certainly more so in other countries. And these are some of the artwork diplomas that they sent out. Lots of very colorful, very artistic. These are the ones from Spain, and this is the one from Argentina. And these are the individual ones for the operators that were involved. This is Ava, Yvette. Next one is Alicia, and Dora is the fourth one. So there's four of them that participated in the program. And then coming up here, and that's they had QSL cards available through one of their websites. These are QSO maps from the different programs. This is the YL program. This is the Spring Primavera program. And this is the CQ Worldwide DX contest we just participated in recently. So we earlier this year, Ava took part in a contest on air, was operated by the YLRL, which is a affiliate, I think, of the ARRL, and they sponsored it. It was a YL OM contest, so YL stations could only contact stations with male operators, and consequently, Ava took first place. So we were very proud of her ability to do that. Ava is actually on the executive of the IARU Region 1, as is her husband, Joe, Hotel Bravo 9, or her husband, Andy, Hotel Bravo 9, Juliet Oscar Echo. And they are both involved with USCA, which is the Swiss National Ham Radio Group, similar to RAC in Canada or ARRL in the US. And they also participate in the Summits on the Air program and have a very large number of summits. And there's on the next slide, you'll kind of see how many. This is Ava with her trophy that she got. She took the basic plus honors test to get her Canadian call sign. So she has done 779 activations. She's operated from 732 summits and 95 different regions. She has 7,500 QSOs, and she started in I think 2014 doing these SOTA operations. And for anyone that's not familiar with Summits on the Air, They basically climb mountains and take the radio gear up to the top of the mountain and operate from there. And she sends me pictures when she's up operating from the mountains, and the views, of course, from Switzerland are absolutely spectacular, and other countries as well. I think this was in Switzerland, this one. There she's giving the thumbs up. So Ava has been very active in getting operations, YL operations going. She's done two that are kind of like de-expeditions. So she did one in 2019 in Czech Republic, which is her native country, Oscar Yankee 88 Yankee Lima, and the one this year from Poland, Sierra Papa 88 Yankee Lima. So they travel to she strikes up deals with contest stations in the countries, and there's different YLs from different countries. They go and operate there for a week, and then when they're there, they travel and see different local sites of interest and that sort of stuff. And her efforts were actually the inspiration of us putting our group together. So instead of YLs traveling to other countries, we just welcome them over the internet through our remote station, which works out quite well. A lot less expensive than traveling. And these are the QSL cards. And Raisa and Dora were at the one in Czech Republic. And Yvette was at the one in Poland this year. So Ava wrote an article earlier this year called Remote from Anywhere. And it was from based on her perspective of our operation. And because I'm just going to put this back a little bit again, because she has so many connections through her work with the IARU, the article was sent to publications in 8 different countries and as many languages. So our operation is now pretty well known worldwide. They also promoted it at Ham Radio in Germany this summer, which was the same weekend as Field Day. And we actually had 4 YLs get on our remote while they were there, and we checked into ONTARS, and they had fun doing that. So it got a significant amount of interest. And this week, she and her husband are in Serbia for the IARU Region 1 General Conference. And of course, while they're there, they go out and do summits on the air. So this is a mountaintop in Serbia. And she has got lots of pictures and videos, pictures mainly on her QRZ page if you want to take a look. So the first YL that from out of the country that joined our group was Race, Radio 1 Bravo India Gulf. Excuse me. She has a very large following on social media, more than 30,000 members between her accounts on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And she recently, I reached out to her a while back, late 2021, and I asked her if she might be interested in operating from our station. And she thought it was a great idea. And she does mostly portable in Russia because she lives in an apartment and doesn't really have a station there. So she does a lot of portable operations. But she and her partner also own a property in Finland called Amateur Radio Island, or Ham Radio Island, Oscar Hotel 73 ELK. So they rent it out to people that want to take a vacation there, and it's on a beautiful lake in Finland. And it's a very nice spot, and a lot of people go there and enjoy it and operate the station. So she has her Finnish call sign Oscar Hotel 7 Bravo Golf. Excuse my spelling. And she also has a VO1 BIG. So I facilitated with a friend of mine in Newfoundland, Chris VO1 IDX. He's an examiner as well. And we tried to find a spot where she could get the BIG suffix to match with her existing call sign. So that's why she has the VO1 BIG call sign. And she was very instrumental in helping me to get initially, different YLs to join up with our group. So she was invited to attend a conference in Croatia, and they paid for her to go there. So there's a short video of her there. Hopefully you can hear it okay. She was there promoting young ladies in amateur radio.
I would like also to say a little bit about YL remote group. It was an idea by my good friend Victor Echo 3 Papa Charlie Paparov, and he made this group and to invite all these young ladies and some youth. It is sometimes we do activity with a special call sign literal for free and Kilima radio. We do contesting, we do just usual working on the air, and it's very nice that our group is growing, and thanks to Rob because he spent much time to do this for us. It's not easy to collect all women because every time we are busy and so on. I don't know if it is my opinion that for the young ladies the hobby cannot be on the first place. First place is family and the other thing, and only then hobby. For my opinion, it is a little bit easier to do the hobby on the best place.
And this is a picture of the group picture of attendees at the conference. It was a pretty well publicized conference. So this summer, she also did her own personal de-expedition to Siberia, to Lake Baikal. And it is known for its enormous size. I think it's the largest freshwater lake in the world. I think it's larger than all the Great Lakes combined. So it's very, very big. And so she was asked to write a story about her adventure, and it will come up. It'll be published in the upcoming edition of the Canadian Amateur. So look forward for that coming up in I think the next issue. So this was the route that she had to take, and she did some operations along the way at different spots as well. That's a picture from Lake Baikal. E3IHR remote, that's the call sign for the remote that we use, and we support many different operators. So when the first radio that I used for a remote station was a Kenwood TS850. It belonged to my late father, VE3 CRW Len from Hensel. And in his later years, he had to move into a assisted living and had to leave his pride and joy behind, and wasn't able to set up a station in his room, which was very devastating for him because that was his connection with all his friends on the air that he just didn't have anymore. So the technology, that was back in the mid 2000s. So the technology really wasn't around at that point in time to set up a remote station. So I'm very happy that we're able to do what we do and to provide the remote station for others that were in similar situations to him to get on the air. So one is Harold V3 Charlie Delta. Some of you may know him. He's been around for years. So he now does the 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. hour on Sunday mornings on OnTARS, and he just loves being able to do that, get back on the air and talk to some old friends, and they enjoy him being able to get on there as well. Yuka, Oscar Hotel 2 Bravo Romeo. He now has VE3 OBR, Oscar Bravo Romeo. He's written both the basic and advanced tests, so he has full advanced qualifications. And Fred, V3KHQ, he's an elderly gentleman as well, lives in a condo in Kincardine. And a friend of his, Hugh, V3 UBO, he's also from Kincardine. He's working towards getting his advanced as well. So Fred uses the remote from time to time, and then Hugh will be using it as well. They'll probably be more likely to use the VHF remote for local 2-meter activity. So Harold, he is an experienced operator. He worked at one time with the CNIB to support blind hams. So he knows Grace VA3GS from Elliott Lake quite well. Most of you, I'm sure, probably know who she is. And then there's Yuka V3OBR. And part of what we're going to talk about tonight is Yuka did a de-expedition to Pitcairn Island in 2000, Victor Papa 6 Bravo Romeo, and he holds a Guinness World Record for his time there of 56,242 QSOs by a single operator, and that was over, I think, a 3-month period. And he did a significant amount of them with only 100 watts. So I'll just pause this and I'll go to some pictures here. We'll start back here. So this is a picture of him and his wife and someone else on 6 News, because they did 6 meters from Pitcairn Island as well. I'll move this. And one of his fondest memories is being able to climb this tower. I think was there. And this is the 45-meter, 150-foot tower he climbed up. That's him at the top. And he was able to take pictures of the whole island. So that was quite a good memory for him. And then this was at Dayton, where he received an award for de-expeditioner of the year for his de-expedition. This is a copy of his world record. So operated from February 25th to April 21st. Which was at pretty much the peak of solar cycle 23, I believe. And in the South Pacific, of course, there are tropical wind storms and rainstorms, so he did not get away without any damage to antennas. This is the host, Victor Papa 6 Tango Charlie, Tom Christian. So he set up and operated, I think, from an existing building there. He took some antennas. He actually bought a 4,000 or 4 kilowatt Honda generator and had it shipped there in advance with 20 barrels of gasoline. He only used 8 of the barrels, so he sold 12 to the locals after the de-expedition was done. And he started out with a ACOM 2000 amplifier, but after 10 days, it broke down. And it took almost 2 months to get another replacement amplifier out to the island. So he wasn't able to run 160 and 80, or he didn't run 160 and 80 until he got the replacement amplifier. So these are some of the stats from the operation. So 56,242 QSOs, 641 QSOs a day, 72 or 27 per hour. And this is a single operator, and this is without FT8. I don't think any de-expedition nowadays would do anything without FT8. So it seems. So you can see the pretty massive numbers of contacts there. 10 meters, 15,500 contacts. 15 meters, almost 10,000. So pretty significant numbers. CW 29,000 contacts. And phone 25,000 contacts, and he did run some RTTY as well. So very very varied operation for sure. And he really enjoys getting on the remote and operating.
Bravo 8, India, Charlie, Quebec. USL 59, Georgia.
So that was Page K0PZH, and I use the RC Forb app on my Android phone every day. I use it on the way to work. I use it on the way home, and I just happen to. And there's a feature on the Android app. If you've ever used it, there's a DX cluster on there, And you can select whatever DX cluster you want to use. You can also select what bands you want to pop up. And then you simply touch on the frequency and or the call sign that you're wanting to listen to, automatically tunes your station to that frequency in the right mode and so forth. So it's really pretty unique, and it's pretty slick how it works. So if you do whenever you do get your remote working there in London, make sure you check that out on the Android app. The next project we get on the go, Victor Alpha 3 X-ray Tango. This is going to be Inverness and Ham Radio Club DX remote. So we have a specific operator from out of country that we're working with to get him on the air from North America. He is very active from his own station. And I was able to get the call sign with the suffix that matches his, and some of you may be able to figure out who that is. It's a two-letter prefix followed by X-ray Tango. And on YouTube, we live stream pretty much every operation that we do through the remote, other than me just getting on there and talking to people. But any group operations, we always live stream to YouTube. I even live stream Herald on Sunday mornings. And last weekend, I started doing the net control for the Sandbox net. So I will be live streaming that as well on Saturday nights. So you can just go to YouTube and search for V3PCP, and you'll find lots of videos there to watch. Okay, so I'm going to switch here to, hopefully you can see that. So this is a live stream that Raisa operated on World Amateur Radio Day through my station, and lots of contacts for her. So I'll just play some of this, and you can, if you haven't heard her on the air, then you'll appreciate her operating methods, because she's really quite proficient at handling pileups. She does a really good job of that, and she's very well known. So a lot of people know her quite well. So let me just play a few minutes here, and you'll get an idea.
Your report is 5 by 6. 5 by 6. My name is Raisa Romeo Alpha, Italy, Sierra Alpha. This is Victor Oscar 1, Bravo India Golf / Victor Echo 3 for Italy Zulu 1, Uniform Kilo Foxtrot.
Okay, Raisa, 5 by 5 for you, and thank you for listening me. Victor Oscar 1, Bravo India, Truck Victor Echo 3. Is it correct, Raisa?
Bravo India Golf, BIG, VO1, BIG, stroke Victor Echo 3. You leave just one letter, the letter G, BIG, QSL.
Victor Oscar 1, Bravo India Golf, Truck Victor Echo 3, correct?
Okay, so I guess we can pause now. I'll stop sharing my screen and see if anybody has any questions.
I was wondering, it looks like you're operating out of your house there. How big's your club there?
We don't really run a traditional club like you would think. We are an RAC affiliate club, but we're affiliated as a youth organization or youth club. So we don't have to have any minimum number of certified amateurs. We don't have to pay for insurance, and that's the way that we choose to do it. We have probably around 50 people that have access to the remote station. And by the way, I don't charge anything for access to it. I only ask that they are respectful, and that if they come on. There's other people on there that they be respectful of that. Anyone that does not have a advanced Canadian certain qualification, I don't let operate on their own. I only have them operate when I'm in the station. So we have a club Facebook group, as many clubs do. I think we're at 230 on there now. So, but the core group of us around here is 4 or 5 members locally. But we're really more of an international group than what we are a local group.
I was wondering, how did you get involved with this? How did you get involved in the youth group?
Well, Alicia was a Girl Guide leader for well over 20 years, and we started doing Jamboree on the Air with them back in I think 2017. We ran as VA3 RAC for that year, and then we also started doing International Youth Day, which is August the 14th. So we were involved with a local youth group. My son was involved with them. So we did a portable operation for International Youth Day at the beach here in Kincardine. So it just kind of grew from there. We used to do a lot of Parks on the Air operations, but I grew kind of weary of those. There's just sometimes programs just become too popular, and the fun kind of goes out of it. When it's just constant pileups and route operators. So I at the end of it, I was only really operating FT8, and I thought, well, why why spend the time and go out and set up in a park just to operate FT8? So I kind of got out of that. So, and we just kind of switched our focus a bit, and then we got on to setting up the remote station, and things have just kind of kept growing from there.
You've been down to Dayton, haven't you? I think I've seen some youth forums. Are you associated with that, or is that something different?
With Dayton?
Yes.
No,
I've
I've never been to Dayton, but there may have been some people there promoting what we're doing.
How many are in Canada, North America, like yourself, or is it basically you for Canada?
As far as I know, we're the only ones in Canada that are doing what we're doing with the international group, and having them operate through a remote station. I don't know of any other group that's doing it.
Well, it looks like it's certainly keeping you busy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I still work full time, but it's something that I enjoy, and I tell people it keeps me out of trouble and off the streets.
Oh, the member that you were talking about in the pit car, is that a local ham or a friend of yours, or is there somebody you just know from?
No, he's actually from Turku, Finland, and that's where he lives now in an apartment in Finland. He's actually a good friend and mentor to Raisa. So she introduced me to him. So that's where he's from. He lives in Finland.
Oh. So what happens when you get old? Do you get kicked out?
Well, I'm hoping that my son will upgrade to advanced, and he can take over.
No, sorry, I didn't mean you personally. I meant the youth on there. I was wondering, you're after youth and women, so I just wondered.
Well, no, I'm 66 years old, so I'm not really a youth. Maybe at heart I am, but it's just because I'm older doesn't mean that I can't support younger people and
No,
women.
I was referring to all your members and stuff like that. I'm wondering, it's a youth group. I was just wondering if there was an age bracket that they're part of, or you're a member once you joined as a.
We're open to all ages.
Sounds pretty good. I don't know. Was there any other questions? Is there anybody out on Zoom? Anything there?
If you like, I can. If you like, I can spend a couple of minutes and go through some of the features on remote hams.
That's up to you. It's 8:30, so I don't.
Well, it's 8:16 by my clock, but it's if you got.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was looking at it wrong.
That's okay.
Yeah, if you want to spend a few more minutes, and then we'll do a break, and then.
Okay, so let me just share my screen with RC4 again. Remote hams. Here we go. I guess it booted me out. I was not active for long enough.
Yeah, this is Hilke. We KGS.
Yes.
Hi, Rob. You and
Hi.
I met at one time. Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
This is okay. You know, I used to be the neighbor of your father.
Oh, did you? Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
In Hensel?
Them thieves with the X. And you said in Inverheeren Club, where is that located?
Inverheeren is a small cottage community on the shore of Lake Huron, just north of Kincardine. It's right near Bruce Power.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I now know whether that is now.
Well, Kincardine is northwest of London. It's up Highway 21 from Grand Bend and goes
Oh,
north of Goderich.
so we're here tonight and recording.
I'm sorry?
Where are you recording from tonight? From London?
No, I'm at home.
Yeah, the home.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to hear all about the girls that they have on there.
Well, there's I don't think it's a shock to anybody that ham radio is definitely a male dominated hobby, but
Yeah.
there's room for everybody, and there's good opportunity to get more people involved, and that's really kind of what it's all about, whether it's more women or young people. And I think that if we want to keep the hobby going, then we got to keep the interest up, and embracing technology is certainly one way of doing it for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, Bob. I'll pass it back over to the rest of the floor.
Okay. Let me see if we got something up on 40 meters here we can listen to. So I'll turn the volume down a little bit on this so you can hear me better. So anybody that's not familiar with RC4, there's the user interface is pretty slick the way that it works. I'm trying to find my mute button here. There it is. So you've got and each radio is going to have a different button layout. Mine is a Kenwood TS870. It's actually a little bit of an older radio, but it's a very good radio. It interfaces well with remote hams. So on over here, I've got the mode, so you can select between lower sideband, upper sideband, CW, so on and so forth. You can change your meter, what you want to see on your meter, whether you want to see SWR or power. And then I've got two antennas that I can switch to. Antenna 1 is the vertical. Antenna 2 is the delta loop. And then you can either use the ATU or have it shut off. And then you can select your CW method. Over here, you've got test or TX and test. When you put it on test, you can actually use it like an intercom and talk to just talk to each other without going on the air. And then you can select between the two different VFOs. You can operate split frequency. You can operate with Vox. And then there's the ATU. You just click on that and it tunes it. It's really quite slick. But one of the features that I just found out kind of by accident, you put your mouse on top of the dial, and then just use the wheel on your mouse to scan through the frequencies. So that worked quite well. Or you can go up into the number pad here, and if you want to go to a different frequency, you just type it in, and it goes to it. So. And then CW, you may not be able to hear the CW, but I want to go down to lower frequency here. I can switch it to CW. You got different filters that you can different filter with. So this one goes from 1,000 down to 50 hertz for filters. So it'll get quite tight. You can select your power level, the RF gain. The high and low cuts are the IF audio cutoff. And then, so the CW, you can, down at the bottom here, there's a little tab, and you can program these macros to do, send whatever you want. So you click on here, and then you can it pops up, and you can type in whatever you want each button to do. So you may not be able to hear the CW, but so we push call. So I don't know whether you heard that or not, but so that's what you do there, and you can come over here and change the speed. That was at 20 words a minute, so if you want to ratchet it up to 35, 40 words a minute, you can do that too. And it works quite well. So I'm sure that the guys that are putting your station together will get back into that at some point in time. Okay, so did that prompt any other questions?
Yeah, I think we've seen the interface a little bit. Appreciate it. It was a good talk. I'm glad that we had the opportunity.
You guys able to hear me?
Yeah, Rob, I can hear you on Zoom anyway, so.
Okay, yeah, no
You're
problem.
audible on Zoom.
That's good. Well, at least it waited till the end.
Yeah, Rob, we really enjoyed the talk there. Thank you so much for that.
Well, no problem. Glad to do it, and thanks for inviting me to do it.
I know it's a lot of work to put that together, and it's great to meet you also. And it was a great talk, very informative, and I'm sure that some of the guys or some of the people down here will join your group. I'm sure of that.
Well, that'd be good. Well, everybody's welcome. That's for sure.
Did you get much snow up there this recently? Or just
Yeah, we got about 8 inches the other day in the morning.
because I saw a couple of trucks come down from up north there this afternoon, and they were well coated and stuff. So
Yeah, it's pretty much gone now, but we had just a squall line coming in, down the lake shore. So I think they got more farther south than what we got.
yeah, they're predicting rain for the weekend anyway, so I'll clean a lot of it up.
Well, it's early, so
Yeah.
whatever we get's not going to stick around, right?
That's
So,
right. That's for sure. Yeah.
But
A question, Rob,
yes.
it's Tom. How do you manage people wanting to use the facility? Like, do you have a schedule, or do you just kind of everyone can see when someone's wanting to use the remote? How do you operate that or manage that?
Well, when we're doing our group operations, we have a schedule that I put together, and then I sent it out to the YL group, and then they would put their name in whatever hour that they were able to operate. But that's for group operations. Just for general operations, I mean, I haven't really put any kind of limits on it yet. People just kind of drop in and you use it whenever they want to. It's on from 4:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. I just tell everybody to if there's someone else in there, then take a listen, see what they're doing first before you just change frequency. Push the test button, talk to them, chat with them first. A lot of times people are just coming in to listen. I generally leave it parked on 3755 in the mornings. I usually use 40 meters on my way to work. There's a couple different groups that I participate in. And then when I get to work, I switch to 3755. I leave it parked there. So there's a lot of people just drop in and listen to ONTARS. And there's people that aren't club members that drop in and use it. So they can't unless I approve them as a club member, they can't change anything on the radio. They can log in and listen just like an SDR, except they can't change frequencies, and they can't transmit unless I give them the approval either. So,
Right.
I can have pretty good control. I haven't had to make any changes to anyone's accessibility. So we're just kind of seeing how it goes, and we don't have a ton of conflicts. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, we were just kind of working through how we would work that. We're starting slow, and we'll be building up people who will be on after our initial alpha or beta testers here. So just seeing if there's any tricks that you had employed, but it sounds pretty simple at any rate. So I think that's how we will operate. We just definitely don't want to get too complicated in terms of sharing the radio. So
No, for sure. I used to belong to the SONRA, the Society of Newfoundland Radio Amateurs. They had a remote station at Signal Hill. So the fellow was president of the club, was a real, real forward thinking guy, trying to get new interest and people involved. And there was a number of U.S. amateurs that got their Canadian Advanced Certificate, and we all paid the membership into the club, but there was a lot of old boys in the club that really didn't embrace that. They didn't want anybody that wasn't a resident of Newfoundland using their equipment. So the guy that was president, I mean, he got kind of tired of pushing a rope uphill, so he resigned, and then the remote has not gotten put back on the air. So most of us didn't renew our memberships. Obviously, if we're not there's no sense of having a membership, and the only reason we had one was to use the remote. So they had a schedule set up on Google Calendar or something like that, so you could book a time frame that you wanted to go in and operate.
yeah.
So
Okay. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, I tried to get a hold of them and they never replied. So obviously there was a little bit of politics going on. Maybe when I was making inquiries about the remote station there. So
yeah,
that's
they're
too bad.
not,
But
they're well, I don't want to say anything harsh about them, but they don't embrace new things very well. Let's put it that
oh,
way.
okay. I understand. Yeah, yeah.
And
I was at
it's
Signal.
not for everybody, right? So
Not for everybody. No, I was at Signal Hill and made it all the way there as a pilgrimage, and it was closed, and it was also inaccessible because they were finishing the outside of the building. So I have to go back
right.
to see it when it's
They
open.
have they got an IC 7610 there. I think ICOM gave them a real deal on it. One of the big problems at Signal Hill is trying to keep antennas up because the weather is so harsh there. They tried a Tar Heel mobile antenna for a while. That didn't work all that well because they were using the copper flashing around the rooftop for a ground plane. There was a lot of intermittency in that because of the joints not being soldered, and it was just a bit of a monster, and it really didn't work all that well. It was just a mobile antenna, obviously. And then they had an end fed up there for a while, and it worked okay, but only on certain bands. And then the wind blew it down. So, and of course there really wasn't Chris VO1 IDX was the president. He was really the only one that was young and agile enough to get up onto the roof and fix the antennas. So now that he's gone, they don't. There's really nobody there that looks after it. So there's certainly nobody that has the expertise to look after the remote part of it. And there's like I said, there's a couple old boys in it that just don't they don't really want to embrace anybody other than just local guys. So you can't
Okay.
change that, and that's just the way it is. So
Now, I'm familiar with the weather, at least in Newfoundland, and there's always those 2 days a year that you get that are perfect for putting up antennas, but
yeah.
the rest of it's pretty miserable weather at times.
Well, we're in Signal Hill being up on the top of the crest of the hill there, it just gets
Yeah.
brutal winds, right? So
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's a nice place and an excellent view when it's
yeah, I haven't been there, but yeah, it's
okay. Yeah, it's beautiful, but you have to get there on that sunny day.
Yeah, and it's a very historic site too, right? Which is
Yeah.
it's kind of too bad.
Yeah, it was too bad it was all locked up when I got there. Of course, you could see the look on my face of shock, and they couldn't even buy a T-shirt.
Well,
everything was closed.
we did remote operations there 2 years in a row on December the 12th for the anniversary of Marconi's first radio signal reception.
Okay.
And I live streamed it for my YouTube channel. So those recordings are actually on my on my YouTube channel. You can,
I'll have to look them up, certainly, yeah.
yeah. So, you know, it worked pretty well, and you know, we had fun, but it is what it is. I mean, time marches on, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if you don't embrace it, it'll just leave you behind, sort of thing. So,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, people, every club has people who are a bit of a curmudgeon. I know some people hated going to single sideband back in the day. So,
yeah,
you know, so
if it doesn't have tubes, it's not ham radio, right?
it's not ham radio exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, we you know, we weren't without our challenges when we first started up as well. So I received several rather angry emails when we first started doing this. So I had to politely explain to them how we were doing our operations, and you know, and RAC doesn't really embrace what we're doing either, just to be honest.
okay. Well, we haven't so far. One with our London club has been positive and more than patient,
Turn it
I
back
should
on?
say. Much
Hi,
more.
guys. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, we're gonna start back up here. Did you apologize for Rob? The laptop here, I got unplugged and we ran out of power. That's how he got cut off.
No problem. No problem.
So thanks a lot. We're just
Oh,
gonna
you're welcome.
conduct a last little bit of business here, and then we're gonna be breaking to go home. So, okay, guys, let's get back here. So we got the 50-50 draw. So,
Okay, well, I'll say 7-3, guys. Thanks for
all
having
right.
me.
Thanks
And,
a lot, Rob. Appreciate it.
no
We
problem.
did give you a round of applause, but I think you missed it.
Well, I saw it, but I didn't hear. So no problem. Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks.
7-3.
Last three numbers,